How can you tell if what you're hearing is the truth? The following is a list of my hard-learned lessons towards figuring out the truth. Don't swallow it if it doesn't taste good. Ask the question. Trust in yourself. Write it down and send it if need be. Always say it with love. Ask for help. Be honest with yourself first. So, if we think something is true, does that make it the truth? This is not an easy question for human beings to answer. Man's history is full of examples of people believing in error even when the facts proved otherwise. Mark Twain said that it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. The actual quote goes like this: "The glory which is built upon a lie soon becomes a most unpleasant encumbrance. How easy it is to make people believe a lie, and how hard it is to undo that work again." You get the idea. True beliefs portray the world as it is. False beliefs portray the world as other than it is. After all, if true beliefs describe the world, and the world changes, then truth must change too. So, how can we be sure there is a world to describe in the first place? What if reality itself is an illusion? And if all truths that we know seem true, and this is true, then how can we distinguish between seeming true and being true? I think that feeling the truth is the real way we judge truth. It is undeniable that feeling the truth, the feeling of knowing the truth, is a big part of how we know we are in touch with truth. Look at your feet. You know that they are feet and that they are your feet because you can see them as well as feel them. You can feel this truth, not just feel your feet. In fact, our feelings are the only way we have of knowing that we are in contact with the truth. This is one of the many jobs of our consciousness. When you feel like something is true, then that idea can operate in your life. When you feel like something is true, it becomes a reality for you. When learning the truth about the different spiritual principles, knowledge is only one small step. My question is, why are we so confused about the spiritual questions? Jesus stated clearly that the cause of spiritual misunderstanding is the lack of scriptural knowledge and belief in his Father. We must know the truth in our belief. But too many of us rely on someone else to tell us what they perceive as truth. And whether it feels true to us at the time or not, we usually just go along to fit in. Unfortunately, many people want someone to interpret the spirituality of the Bible for them. In fact, the church fought for years that only a priest could interpret the Bible. They said it would be the easiest way to approach spiritual matters. Truth is, it is in our nature to want to follow a mere man and his teachings rather than God anyway. If what a man teaches make people feel good, they stick with that man. A common practice of many denominations is to hire only ministers who are willing to preach what the denomination approves, regardless of whether it agrees completely biblical or not. Jesus, John the Baptist and all the original apostles worked very hard to get the attention off themselves and onto their message. Most of them were killed for what they taught. Theirs was not a popular message. But isn't that the way it usually is with the truth? Few want to hear the truth. So, it is also important to consider that a large group gathering around a popular message doesn't make the message true either. Remember, though Christ had taught thousands, only 120 people followed him at the time of his crucifixion. So it says, in Acts 1:15. When we consider the life-threatening seriousness of our world's conditions, it is worth examining these things for ourselves. Paul said in 1 Thessalonians 5:21, "Prove all things, hold fast that which is good." When knowledge is uncertain, people turn to social consensus to gauge what is likely to be correct. If many people believe it, there's probably something to it. The more often we hear a message repeated, the more familiar it feels, even if every repetition comes from the same source. People are more likely to accept something that is compatible with their own beliefs than one that is not. When I started using GPS, I loved it. All I needed to do is plug in the destination and follow the step-by-step directions, and I arrive exactly where I want to be. Not a whole lot of thought was required, no figuring anything out. No maps, no getting lost. Much. I simply had to listen and follow the instructions, and everything else was taken care of. It still is a big relief not to have to know how to get to where I'm wanting to go. I can sort of relax and enjoy the journey. Listening to our inner guidance is kind of like using GPS. When we let go of the mental activity of trying to figure things out, we have the space to become aware of the guidance that is already there. And when we follow the directions that are offered, we stay on track and do not lose our way. True directions. This advice comes from within. The truth is in there. It's waiting patiently to lead you in the right direction. The directions of truth.